Hi, this is Jim Connor, back with another segment here from Sao Paulo, Brazil. My guest is Yuri Navarro, who is the Executive Director of the National Angel Capital Organization of Canada. What's happened recently in the growth of the organization?
We've grown a lot in Canada. Angel investment is becoming a very hot topic among investors. Entrepreneurship is just going full throttle right now in Canada. Everybody coming out of university, or it seems like just about everybody coming out of university is looking at entrepreneurship as a real option, starting their own business. And in Canada, it's quite easy to start a business, which can be good and bad. But the good thing is that we're getting really high quality entrepreneurs, really high quality businesses, to the extent now that more and more we're seeing investors from other countries coming in and getting interest in investing in some of the companies that we have there.
The Canadian government's made some special provisions for foreigners or external people to come in under an investor visa structure. That's really opened the doors for an inflow of capital and talent, for that matter, because these investors bring a certain amount of expertise. What is that program like?
Yeah, there's actually two programs which are really good. One is for investors and one is for entrepreneurs. They're focusing on both sides of the coin here, and yeah, exactly. They're looking at wealthy investors who are interested in entrepreneurship, who are willing to put their money in with startups, essentially, to come in and participate by putting their money. For now, it's limited to funds that they can put their money into that will reinvest. But the idea is to engage those investors with the companies and to help them use their expertise to help grow those companies, which I think is a fantastic idea. It's part of kind of what we're trying to do at NACO as an organization. And on the flip side of that, there's also another visa for the startup entrepreneurs, which actually allows a company and up to 5 of the entrepreneurial core team to come into the country on a permanent residency basis within 6 months, as long as they can secure investment from a Canadian angel investor. So really the government has flipped the model on immigration a bit with these programs and is really relying on the investor community and the business community to identify who are the people that should qualify under an entrepreneurial visa. Because as you can imagine, that's a very difficult thing for the government to try to quantify.
Quantify and to manage, and to be sure it's not being manipulated, shall I say. If I'm a foreigner, a person not from Canada, and I want to go to Canada, do I come in on a tourist visa first, try to raise capital with, quote, either VC or an angel? If I get that, then I go and make this application for a permanent residency? Is that the process?
You can. So some of the companies that we're seeing coming through are actually going to universities and as part of a university program, getting themselves set up, securing investment, and then while they're still in Canada, starting the process. So we are seeing that. But even companies we've seen apply directly from back wherever home is to them. In fact, some of the companies that have come through the angel stream have been from places in Eastern Europe, where our investors, some of the investors participating in the program, have actually been going out and proactively seeking out some of the best entrepreneurs in these countries, in Africa, in Asia, in Eastern Europe, to try to identify the best entrepreneurs, bring them into Canada. And in fact, not only have they been successful in recruiting some of those companies to come to Canada, but they've also even been able to generate exits from some of those companies already. Okay. So it's actually quite interesting.
That's a great story. What is the, is there a limit, is there a certain threshold investment amount that these companies have to secure to qualify under that program?
Yeah, it's $75,000, which is not a lot when you're thinking about an investment in a company from a qualified angel group. And there's also some other restrictions around how much shares the entrepreneurs coming over have to own to make sure that they actually are the entrepreneurs and they are the founders and owners of the business. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's really based on what the relationship is between the investor and the entrepreneur. Yeah, once there's a deal in place, let's say, it's a 6-month turnaround commitment from the government to process a visa. And even while they're waiting for the visas to be processed, they can actually get a work permit to come and start working on the business while they're waiting for the paperwork. So it's actually, it's quite, I would say, aggressive.
It's aggressive, it definitely is, and it's leveraging the talent of the world to bring those people into Canada before they decide they want to come to the US perhaps, right? Makes it more competitive too. Yeah. That's all very interesting. I appreciate knowing about that. I'd heard about the program. I didn't know the exact numbers, and I knew the investor program. I think it's $500,000 you have to invest. Is that roughly right?
It's increased now. So now the new investor program is $2 million.
Oh, $2 million. You have to put that to work in some type of fund? Do public markets work or not public markets?
It has to go to VC funds. Yeah, and it's actually the government kind of helps allocate it through these fund-to-fund programs that they have. So some of the more, it's actually managed by the Business Development Bank of Canada, who has a VC arm as well.
So you have a national conference of your own coming up. When is that, and what are going to be the topics that you're going to engage with?
It's a 3-day event, very similar in that way to the ACA. We have education happening. We have sessions on ecosystem issues happening, and then also some public policy discussions happening. It's kind of how the days break out. There's a lot of networking that's happening there. We see that for our members, the most important part is when they're coming together to have the opportunity to meet as many people as possible and reconnect with as many people as possible to do deals. So some of the topics we're going to be discussing this year are around some of the more emerging sectors that are coming out, what is happening in technology and things like portals and crowdfunding and other things that are happening right now that are really shifting or causing the angel investment community to rethink how they're approaching angel investment.
Well, for people interested in following up with you for the conference or personal contact, what's the best way to reach you or NACO?
Well, the best way to reach me is directly to my phone line. You can always reach me. You can actually find the information on the website. Yeah. The website is www.nacocanada.com. Okay. And on there you can find information about the summit. There's actually a video that shows what last year's summit was like. So it's all going to be quite good. I'm
really happy to have met you here, and look forward to seeing if we can connect up in Canada at your summit, and wish you every success going forward.